So let's talk about my weekly outlook on NAS100. Okay, so going to the weekly time frame, we have a massive sell-off here. In Nasdaq, we had a massive sell-off through this low here. Kind of broke through this low, so I can consider this one as a bigger time frame market structure shift. Low high got taken, low high, and we kind of broke through this low, as you can see. So, and we just recently swept the sell side liquidity here. And if you see the 4-hour daily, we started chopping around this range, and that means we also put a SMT here and kind of pushing to the upside. So this kind of telling me that we are sweeping this low, not breaking through this low. Okay, so my weekly bias would be a little bit bullish rather than being bearish, and I'm pretty much bullish going into the next week, 1 or 2, because I would like to see that price. If I consider this one as a weekly overall market structure shift and we just swap this liquidity, what the possibilities that we can do? The very much possibilities that we have a very high chance of retracing back in where discount of this range, talking about the whole discount of this range, which is this premium of this range here. I want to see us go premium, and on the way going into premium, this is the weekly order block that I'll be watching. Okay, so my bias will be overall is if we have enough push to break through this weekly order block, then I would be so confirmed that we are definitely going for this fair value gap and going back into the premium. So this is what we can see, and if we can break through this, then I'll be so confident to see us all-time high again. Okay, but this one is too far. I'm not talking about that. Okay, I'm just looking at for next 2 weeks possibly is looking for us go into have some form of, let's say, retracement, and then finally breaking through. If we can break through, if we manage to break through, then I'll be so confident that we are going into premium, and as well as we are going into this weekly fair value gap. Okay, and if we manage, I'm kind of pretty much confident with this one that we are going into this weekly fair value gap, and after that it will all depend on this weekly fair value gap. If we go respect that and really displace lower, okay, showing us a bigger time frame market structure shift, having some nice displacement, then I'll be pretty much confident with possibly this low. There is an equal low here, if I'm not wrong. Yeah, kinda. So I'll be confident with that. We are looking to see new lows, possibly go take out these lows, go into this daily fair value gap, which is here resting. We actually went into the daily fair value gap just to the tick, and this is where we formed the SMT. So I'm not pretty much concerned about that. If we go and really do some form of displacement through this range, so I'll be pretty much confident with this sell side liquidity here, not this fair value gap, because this one is already touched and used one. So I really don't think of much about that. But going into the week and talk about the newses. Monday we got some nice Euro newses. USD got flash manufacturing PMI, not super heavy newses, I guess. CPI, yeah, final GDP and unemployment claims at Thursday. So these two will be kind of the things that can have a little bit of effect, and then pretty much nothing. That's it. So only Thursday I had said the GDP and the unemployment claims, that's all that matters. Okay, but my overall weekly outlook would be for at least the next week I would be looking to see us go into this order fair value gap, and after we go into the fair value gap, then I'll be looking to see further confirmations on are we breaking through this and going into premium, or we respecting this and without going premium we are displacing back into the range, targeting maybe to the sell side liquidity. So right now for the next week I'll be a little bit bullish because we still have the room to push higher and go do some things there. So I'll be in Nash, I'll be bullish pretty much. And for the USDJPY is pretty simple. We have been inside this weekly order block and this weekly fair value gap for 2 weeks, and previous bias was I was looking to see that the FOMC here, this move was the FOMC move. I wanted to see that FOMC actually break through this. Okay, if you see the amount of this I was pretty much looking to see this, but it went against my bias, which is we just swapped internal and displaced back into the range. This is kind of giving me bigger time frame market structure shift, and if this is a bigger time frame market structure shift and we end up being respecting this 4-hour and displace lower, possibly do a breakup structure possibly through this low, something like this, I'll be pretty much sure that we are again going back into this order block and pretty much targeting this low, I guess. this low here, I'll be pretty confident with this one. Okay, but talking about what can happen in bigger time frame, I would still need to see either one of these two levels get broken. Either this fair value get broken, this fair value gap get broken, or this order block get broken. One of this has to be happen in order us to see further price action. Like if this one get broken, then I'll be pretty confident that we are going back into this highs, taking out this liquidity. But if we end up being displacing through this fair value gap, then I'll be pretty confident of us possibly going back into this order block, this sell side, this sell side. Okay, so right now I'm not thinking too much long. Right now I would be like looking at this weekly, and our model, we just came in, sweep internal, they wasn't able to have the break of structure because there was no low that needs to get broken. We finally put the low, swipe the internal, as you can see. So this becomes your final manipulation move, and then we have our market structure shift here. And let me just MSS 4 hour, and we are right now inside this 4 hour FVG. Okay, so my bias will be completely depending on this fair value gap. If we manage to break through this, then I would pretty much be sure that we are going for these highs. And if we are really going for these highs, then I can consider this fair value gap will be pretty much broken depending on this fair value gap. But if we end up being respecting this and it's displaced lower, I will be so fucking confident that we are, first of all, we are definitely coming here to do a break of structure. Okay, things to remember step by step. Will be coming lower, and I would like to see us break of structure here, and then I'll be pretty much confident that we are definitely coming for this low. Okay, if we able to manage this 4 hour fair value gap after this bigger time frame market structure shift, like look at this, is pretty clean, right? There was no low that has to get broken without this. This is like, if you say this, we end up respecting this, created that high, and finally broke through this range, which becomes our bigger time frame market structure shift. We have this massive fair value gap. What are you looking for? We're definitely either looking this one getting respected or not getting respected. Like I'm understanding my bias and everything through understanding of the respectance or the disrespectance of PDRAs, right? So my bias will be solely depend for USDJPY in this order fair value gap. If we manage to break through this, then I'll definitely see new highs. Possibly this is an equal high, if you guys see here inside of this order fair value gap. This equal liquidity. First target would definitely this, and then I still would not be super bullish because in a bigger time frame we can just go up, sweep this liquidity, and then come back into the range just by weakening this. Okay, so until and unless we are seeing some nice displacement, something like this, I'll be not like I'm saying, until and unless we're getting this much amount of displacement, something like this, I'll not be sure with this high and this high. But right now I'll be pretty confident in, if we manage to break through this, I'll be pretty confident with this equal high and this high. But if we end up being respecting this and we are coming back into the range, kind of displacing back into the range, I'll be pretty much damn sure that first of all we are coming here to do the break of structure, and then second of all, if we manage to break through this low, which we'll be considering as a break of structure, we are pretty much coming for this sell side liquidity. And after we came back here, I will wait for further confirmation that either we are breaking through this or pretty much, or you're respecting through this. Okay, so I'm not pretty much thinking of much right now. My solo focus will be on this 4 hour fair value gap going into the next week, understanding are we respecting this or disrespecting this. Okay, so that's overall the weekly bias overall for USDJPY. And for NASH, I just told you what am I looking for. Okay, so we're just consolidating here, so pretty much I cannot I cannot say anything based of this insight, because there is nothing is going to be high probability until and unless we are going to this fair value gap. After we go into that, I'll be pretty confident. Right now, going into the week, how I would like to trade it is out of internal range. Let's see some form of displacement, fair value gap, come back in, form our model, show us the displacement back into the range, going for this high, show us that we are pushing higher. Then I'll be looking to see some form of trades. But once you come here into this weekly order block, first of all, I definitely would like to see some form of retracement or reversal, anything. Okay, but once you come into this weekly order block, I will be definitely a little bit bearish. But if you manage to break through this, then I'll be bullish again. So this is understanding of step-by-step things. Okay, like this is a fair value gap, bearish fair value gap. You have to understand what you can possibly do. If I shows you that, then you have to think step by step like this. Okay, once price comes here, I gotta wait and see what happens. I gotta wait to see the reaction. Okay, I'm seeing that we are displacing through this range. Price is showing you that we are going lower, be with it. Price showing you now we are not displacing lower, we're breaking through this. Okay, we finally broke through this. That's all right. Now once price broke through this, now I'll be pretty confident that we are going for premium. Okay, you have to define things like this. There is an equal high in the 4 hour just above this, so let me just quickly mark it out. So These are the important levels. Especially my focus will be solely on this weekly order block. I'm pretty confident they were definitely going towards this weekly fair value gap, and I'll look to see internal things to catch the moves us going into this weekly fair value gap. So that's it for the USDJPY and NAS100 bias for this week. And for NAS, it may take 2 or 3 weeks, but for USDJPY, I'm pretty confident this is the next week bias. So that's it.